Yeah, I'm recording. So which episode is this?
I didn't even check, to be honest. It's been so long. I don't know, how long has it been? Like 5-6 months, maybe?
Something like that, yeah. Yeah, because you couldn't get through, and then, now you got a VPN, but we're still having a little bit of technical difficulties.
It must have been from before the lockdown, because during the lockdown they had all the VPNs on shutdown because they didn't want all the meetings. So I think it was before that. Yeah. Maybe probably right after my last show. 2019.
No, I think after your show, we still did one. We still did one after your show. We were about the same weight. So you were about 115 kilos and I was 115, but now I'm only 100 and you're pushing 120.
Yeah, you're a little skinny PCT pussy now, right?
Fucking natty, dude.
How's all that going? How's the health markers, everything on the right track?
I did my blood work just now, so I got the puncture mark to prove it, and so I get the blood work markers tomorrow, and then I'll post a video about it. So the last time my liver values didn't improve that much, but I already saw that all the other markers were improving except my liver marker. So I made some adjustments. And then hopefully the liver markers will improve. And I'm assuming that testosterone is fine because I feel much better now after 2 weeks of ACG compared to what I felt like when I was tapering the hormones off. And I was 171 nanograms per deciliter in total testosterone, which is peanuts,
Yeah.
It should be like 1,700. But you did
well. At least you're back on track and healthy now. I mean, all that that you did. Was it the kidney or the liver podcast you did with that doctor?
Yeah.
Guy,
Dr. So no, that's still ongoing. So that liver thing, that's probably going to take a few months. Yeah. That's why I do it frequently.
Is it working?
Last time it didn't really work, so that's why I made some adjustments to going forward, and so hopefully it will be a little bit better this time. So let's see. Let's put this microphone a little bit closer. So hopefully we'll be a little bit better next time. So it's step by step, I guess. Yeah, cool. That's part of it. You can't stay saucy forever.
No, you've got to have those little breaks. Got to stay healthy.
Yeah,
that's good though, mate. It's good to hear things are back on track.
Yeah. And so what about you? How's your off season?
Fucking awesome. With everything considering, with with the start of the year that we had, I mean, off season really didn't start until I think we started on solid plans and training and stuff back in the gym in April or May.
Yeah,
it's only been 5, 6, maybe 7 months, I think. So we lost a few months at the beginning of the year, like everyone did. Apart from all your home workout guys that were killing it.
I managed to home gym and haven't used it since, or barely.
Well, at least you got it. You never know.
Yeah.
Touch wood. Fingers crossed.
Touch laminate.
All of the wood. Touch all of the wood. But I mean, my off season has been great. We managed to have a pretty decent lengthy time of just recomping there for a while, and my weight was fairly sort of stuck around that sort of 115, 116 mark for quite a while. But I was always looking better and better, keeping very, very full. Thanks, Primo.
Yeah.
And everything was going well, and it's been great, to be honest. Like health-wise and stuff, I've been feeling great. I had a little bit of surgery. I got a bit gyno cut out, as we, it was just part of it. It's something I've dealt with since I was 18. I had it in one side when I was 18, like I guess very late post-pubescent gyno. I guess it was probably there during puberty. It just grew over the years, and I didn't really think anything of it.
So the weird thing is, I developed gyno after I broke my leg when I was 24.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that? Just due to lack of activity, rise in estrogen?
I think so. Like I went into full surgery, right? So full anesthesia, and that was horrible just to recover from already. And then you stopped training. It was at a peak natty shape. Going on, and then I broke my leg. I had to fly home, and I didn't train for 4 months. And then when I started training, I was so weak. I was so weak. I started training again, and I think after 4 weeks, I felt my nipple was sensitive. I'm like, what the hell is that? And I never touched steroids in my life before that time. It's like, what the hell is that? Vagina. Gyno developed when I was drug free and I was 24. It wasn't even during my puberty. I think I gained some body fat because I didn't train for 4 months, you know, and I ate a significant amount of food just to recover from all the road rash. I mean, my arms were completely open. You know, completely open. I'll post a picture one day on Instagram, and it's so I was eating well, and I think I just put on too much body fat. And then when I started training again, I got a lot of aromatization, and I developed a little bit of gynecomastia. Yeah. So it can occur before you even touch steroids. And of course, when you touch steroids and you don't look, or you miss up your aromatase inhibitor for a while, you develop it more. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, same for me when I was 18. I always remember I had like a lump in my nipple for quite a while through the later years of like high school, and then a couple of years after, up until 18. And I always thought, I know nothing about gyno at the time. You know, I wasn't using gear. I wasn't interested in it. I was just like a bit of a gym rat, and I was playing rugby all the time. So I was fit, strong boy.
Right.
But I didn't know fuck all about it. I just had this lump, and then we went to the doctor one day, and they were like, "Well, let's just cut it out and just have a little check and do some tests on it, because there was a lot of breast cancer in my family, and guys can get it.
Yeah, it's rare, but it's
so the doc said, well, let's just whip it out anyway and just have a little look, just to be on the safe side, and win-win either way.
Right.
And
the insurance covered it that time?
Back to NHS, mate, all free.
Okay, that's good. So my health insurance didn't want to cover it because my house doctor was very condescending. And he looked at me and said, you work out, right? You take steroids? I said, no, dude, I would admit it if I took it, but I'd never taken a steroid in my life. You can drug test me. This gynecomastia formed after the getting back into the gym after having my leg broken in a motorcycle accident. So they didn't want to cover it. So I left it. And the funny thing is, when I went on steroids, it shrank. So actually,
that's the same thing that happened to me on my other side. Well, actually on that right side, because I'm pretty sure they might have left a little bit in there. There was always like a little grainy bit behind it that I could feel, but it wasn't enough to, you can't notice it when posing and things like that. It was never an issue.
No, you didn't see it.
And even at the time when I had that cut out when I was 18, they never actually told me what it was. They just went, well, it's not cancer, you're fine. I didn't even know anything about gyno until a few years ago. And then it clicked and I was like, that was fucking gyno.
I had fucking gyno. Fuck.
Yeah. So then I thought, well, shit, it's only a matter of time before maybe I'll get it on the other side.
Yeah.
And as we both know, it's kind of been there lingering just a little bit, like not enough to notice. I did 2 shows with it, and you can't even notice.
No, you couldn't tell. You still got all the separation in the lower chest and everything. Like for me, on my right side, you can notice it when I do a front double bicep. Then you see a little bit. It hides a little bit of the definition, but it's not that bad. And it's honestly, is it worth the money? Like for you, you want to actively compete, but I have no desire to do it, so I just leave it there. But I might do it soon because I saw your surgery was a great success. I mean, I was like, I was a little bit worried. Like, okay, take it easy training. Don't force yourself. Don't exacerbate the incision. Right? It's like slow down. And a week later, you were kicking ass in the gym again. It was completely healed.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I mean, I was kicking ass, but I wasn't like I was being very conscious of that high blood pressure during training.
Right.
I didn't want anything to explode everywhere, so I made sure before I was really pushing to failure that all the stitches and everything were out. The scar was nice and solid. Like there was still nothing there that was going to split open. And it healed super quick. Healed fine. Looks great. No problems. So
do you think the growth hormone contributed to that?
Maybe. Like,
I'm sure.
I mean, we're not taking a massive amount though. We're not taking any more, a couple of IUs a day. And I mean, I don't think so. I think it's just I think gyno is one of them things. I think people like acne. Some people are susceptible to it. Yeah. If you're going to get it, you're going to get it. Deal with it, manage it, or get it taken out. Simple as that. And at the time I had a bit of extra cash, had some time, thought bugger it, couple of weeks off will probably be about time for a good deload anyway.
Right.
So
you got to schedule
2 birds, 1 stone.
Yeah, exactly. So I might do it now as well because my training capacity is like 75% now without hormones. And so now would be a good time to do it. It's also a good time to get the plate out of my leg, but I'm a little bit weary of doing that, because I would.
How long will that set you back?
4 weeks, but the PCT is going to be at least another 4 weeks. You know, I'm starting Clomid and Novadex tomorrow, so it's going to be at least 4 weeks. It might extend it to 6 weeks if it's necessary. I'll do blood work again in 4 weeks to see where my testosterone, LH, and FSH is at. And if I feel that I need a little bit longer boost, then I continue it for another 2 weeks. So actually now would be a good time to do it. Yeah. But then I'll completely disintegrate, you know, because now I can maintain a little bit of size, like going to the gym. And did you see that last leg workout that I did in the Muscle Factory patio?
Yeah.
You know, the intensity is still there. I just have to hold back a little bit because I know I can push to failure, like those crazy sets that you do on the leg press. If I do that, I'll just be fucking dead, you know, for a week.
So you just back off those extra couple like little rest pauses at the end.
Yeah, there's no way I can't do it.
So just a straight sets of failure, and then that's
done.
it.
Go home. Yeah. So not too many sets of failure, but you know, that way I can still maintain the size, right? And I'm still eating well, or at least some.
Well, there's plenty of stimulus to maintain.
Yeah, but if I take 4 weeks off to recover the gynecomastia but actually the best time would be now. So I might do it next week, depending on this blood work result. Might get the full checkup done.
Well, at least over there in Thailand, you've got like all the best private hospitals and surgeons. Like everyone always recommends go to Thailand because it's like a holiday when you go and get surgery and stuff over there.
I talked to a guy from Canada 2 days ago for a consultation, and he wanted to do an fMRI, you know, a scan of his heart. And I told him, said, you know, all the money you spend in Canada or the US, it's like $5,000, $6,000, right? I said, listen, you can get a ticket, a hotel, the fMRI with 2 weeks of fun money to spare. Just come here. And it's not a surgery. You just lay there and they check your heart and see for coronary artery disease and, you know, calcification, that kind of stuff, and plaque buildup. And so it's not like you're doing a surgery. You just come here, you do the test, and you misbehave for 2 weeks. After, if your test is good, you can misbehave. Otherwise, you have to be a little bit moderate. And you break even, you know?
Yeah. Win-win. You get a nice holiday out of it. You get a couple of weeks at the Muscle Factory.
Exactly.
What do you want?
But I told him, yeah, come train with me.
Yeah, happy days.
Yeah, right. So your
that's good. So yeah, I mean, awesome.
Your off season is going awesome.
It's going well. Yeah, I mean, like you sent me the new plans over yesterday, I think, or the day before. So start everything a little bit of a switch up on things on Monday. See if we can make the most out of the last few months of the year. Yeah. Well, the last few months, not of this year. It's almost over already. 4 weeks flown by.
Yeah, this year's been going so fast, and I think it's because every week is the same fucking week. Like you're not allowed to travel, right? You had a small holiday. I had like one or two small holidays to patio, which doesn't really count because you're not leaving the country. Yeah. And
if you don't fly out of the country, it doesn't feel like a holiday, does it?
It's like a little long weekend.
Little break, yeah.
Yeah. So you had a small holiday.
Nothing, I guess.
You had a small holiday. I had a small holiday, but it's just weekend. But it's been a very productive year. I mean, you leveled up significantly in the last few months.
I mean, I can say that, like, I was just going to say, like, yeah, it's been inconvenient for travel and things like that. But as far as productivity, it's been pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
You know, business, physique, can't complain.
Most of the people that I know, they leveled up a lot.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I talked with Eric from More Plates, More Dates and Leah from Longevity, and they're all doing very, very well, you know, with their YouTube. And my YouTube is growing. You know, the eBooks and the consultation, you just get more busy.
Yeah.
So it's I should do a video about that, you know, how to ensure your revenue streams during financial crises.
Yeah. little vigorous business podcast.
Right. Yeah. I'll probably do another vigorous finance to. You know, YouTube is so weird, right? Like I do a very detailed, informative, essential video about electrolytes. Nobody watches. And then I do a stupid video about nothing, you know, about unexpected results when you're getting bigger, like hair growth, you know, your poncho clothes and all that, like a silly video. 3 times the views. I don't get it. I think people just want to be entertained. It has nothing to do with the information.
Yeah, I think most part, people just want to watch something cool and interesting that they might understand.
Yeah, that's what I guess. So I'm just like today I recorded everything. We did like a day in the life. So I filmed the blood work, I filmed the sandwiches, and I will film a dinner as well. And then and see how that lands, you know, maybe just turn it into a lifestyle channel and then I don't have to deal with all those guys posting studies about that I'm wrong about everything.
Yeah, man.
Man.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, I like it anyway. All the in-depth stuff I like to watch. So you got one viewer
all the
getting something
full-time
out of it.
bodybuilders like it, but you know the amount of full-time bodybuilders is not. I don't think that's a large majority of the audience.
Well, that's it. They don't make up the majority of the views, do they?
No,
you know, it's normal dudes, most of it. Gym rats.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not really sure. I'm not, because you never know what these guys look like, right? Like a lot of them post under profiles that have no picture. I don't know what they look like, and sometimes you can tell a little bit about how they write the comments, but I have no idea what the audience looks like until the borders open up in Thailand and people start coming here. And then you can see who's actually watching. Like, hey, Coach Steve, what's up? I'm so-and-so, this username. You take your pictures and then you can kind of see who, you know, who's who and what's what. But it's yeah. So
it's tough. There's always going to be a lot of those names that, like, you'll probably recognize similar names that always pop up in the comments here and there, and you get to know, like, okay, their sort of mindset, where they're at.
Right. Yeah.
And they're pretty cool. But then, you know, you always get, I don't get why people always make up like these fake Instagram accounts with just no pictures, no nothing, just to comment on stuff.
So I get annoyed at that as well. But honestly, I have so many consultations with these guys that don't want to be known for whatever reason. Well, I know the reasons, but for whatever reason, they want to stay a little bit in the background. And I can respect that. I prefer that too. Just do your thing, mind your own business, and not too much on social media, but it's required nowadays. So, So I talk with a lot of those guys. I have multiple consultations with guys per week that contact me from a proton mill or an empty Instagram account, or you know, you have no idea what they look like. And but they're very knowledgeable. They just don't want to put themselves out there. And then sometimes they're very developed as well. They can't contact you under their real Instagram account for, you know, whatever purposes. And then you know, the camera goes on, you're like, oh, okay. Don't record, Coach. Yeah, don't worry, man. You know, so it's, you know, you never know what you're going to get, you know, on the other side of on the other side of this, the social media stuff.
Well, you just do what you can. I mean, with all your YouTube stuff on the VigorousSteve site, God, I don't know how many videos you've posted now, and especially now with all the eBooks and stuff. I mean, you must have one of the biggest libraries of information on the internet right now. I think
so. Yeah, I mean, the amount of content that I have in the Facebook group that nobody wanted to sign up for, so I'm transforming it into eBooks, is astronomical. And just thinking about transforming that into eBooks gives me anxiety.
Yeah,
I mean, Aaron is a proofreader, so he goes through all the eBooks just to make sure that I don't forget anything, and then I have two other proofreaders. So I go through everything, right, and then I combine your proofread recommendations with the other guys, and then we do another round of proofreading. And but it's pages on pages. But I only 4 ebooks in, or 5, and now I'm working on the insulin ebook, which is way more work than I thought it would be. You know, way more.
Yeah, I mean, but the content that you're putting in these are, you know, you've got like your generic ebooks on, like, sort of, you know, this training that, like, you know, everyone's probably paid, you know, fucking $3 for 25 different Kai Green training ebooks. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, if you haven't bought one of them by now, then you haven't been in the bodybuilding social media world for long, because they're fucking.
And he sells them for $1, I think. You know, so he just goes.
I think he does like 10 for $1 some days.
Yeah.
You know, there's always some crazy sale.
But there's so many people that it's actually lucrative. You know, he's got such a big following.
Yeah, but he's also like in not. I don't want to slate the guy because it's Kai Green. He's incredible. But he's also a genetic anomaly freak.
Yeah.
So what works for him is probably not going to work for, you know, 99.99% of people. But I think I did read one of his ebooks, and he had like a bit like a story theme to it. It's got like, he makes all these characters and he makes it into like a bit of a novel. So it's quite interesting to read in that way.
Okay.
And he goes into some basic, you know, mechanical movements and things and certain exercises. So there is a lot there people can learn.
Yeah, I think there's a couple guys
behind
it. Yeah, I think there's a couple guys behind it, of course, because the guy is so busy.
Yeah.
I don't think
there's definitely some professional writers involved, because it's very well written. Because it is like a novel. Whereas like your ebooks are like, you know, welcome back to school. you're going to learn some shit for real. So it's so we don't have to go too in depth into all the ebooks. All I'll say to anyone watching, if you haven't bought one yet, for the sake of $20 or something like that, I know they're all slightly different prices, but you're not going to get a better value for money anywhere. I've proofread all these ebooks and I'm just like, how the fuck? Like,
the funny
it's
thing
just there's so much good information. You could read each one of those ebooks easily 10 times and still learn something new each time.
I think so, yeah. Because I try to cover like 99% of the bases. You know, so even the minutia detail is there. I don't go too in depth, but I go in depth enough that it covers like everything, all the scenarios that I've come across over the years. That's why the insulin ebooks take so much time, because what about this? What about the mixed insulins? What about the, you know, the insulin secretagogues? Like you have growth hormone secretagogues, but you have insulin secretagogues also. Yeah. So that all has to be combined. And then now I'm trying to whore myself out on YouTube again, posting videos every day. Yeah, it detracts from the ebook writing. So, but the funny thing is, you see people.
Well, you've got a balance there. You can't just be writing all day, every day. You'll drive yourself nuts.
No, actually, it was very productive when I did that before. Like when I took a month off from YouTube and I just was writing. And that was very, very good because I already have the foundation of the Facebook group, and I just draw from different articles and make sure that every ebook is a complete ebook standalone separately. So you only have to buy that one. You don't have to buy anything else unless you buy the bioidentical hormone cycles during the off-season ebook and you want to add some primo. Okay, you need the primo ebook as well, but that's in the pipeline. So hopefully I'll get that. I thought I was going to be done by this end of this year, but it's no way. It's
there's no rush. Enjoy the process.
Yeah,
you know, it's going to take people a while to really read and digest most of that stuff anyway, if they're really interested in learning about it.
I think so.
I think the main standout thing about your ebooks is that you can take all this information, you put it in a very well structured order, so it's easy to follow. You don't get lost. You don't have to be like, oh shit, I've got to go back to chapter 1 and double check that bit to understand this bit. It's all it flows very nice.
Right.
But the main thing,
pretty comprehensive,
because I know you.
Yeah,
is you've got the practical experience of all this stuff. So what bugs me about most people quote so many studies and all this all the time, don't they? Everyone's quoting training studies, diet studies. None of these studies are ever done on bodybuilders. None of these studies are barely done on active, gym goers at all. Most of these studies are just done on average Joes. So it's not,
or when they're sick.
It's not applicable to the people that are actually reading them.
No.
So your ebooks are different because you attack them from like a bodybuilder's point of view, or at least an athlete's point of view, and you've fucking done it. You've actually done this stuff and tried it. You've got the proof in the pudding. So you actually have I know from most people just have paper.
Yeah, I know it from the medical side, and it's interesting. But I made several videos about this. Like, okay, you can quote references and everything, but it doesn't always play out in the real world. Like they say, progesterone is anabolic. Yeah, in postmenopausal women.
Yeah,
that's the only study where it's been proven, So and you can go through all the studies like, this compound doesn't so and so. Yeah, but it's only in cases of breast cancer, right? So there's always all these studies are circumstantial, and the circumstances of bodybuilding are sometimes completely the opposite, or not in line with what has been examined. So I mentioned it in the
complete flip side.
Yeah, I mentioned it in the preface. Say, listen, I don't believe in cherry picking articles or studies to prove a point. Everything in here, I know it works, and it might not work for you, but that's why sometimes I offer an alternative, maybe this. Okay, give it a try and give it a fair duration, and then see which version applies well for you. So I know everything that works, and you might be able to find studies that disprove it, but
I doubt it. Not that have actually been tried and tested in our environment.
Not in our environment, no, but you might be able to find studies where they say, like, I went into the ACG quite in depth, right? And so in some studies, they say it actually maintains fertility on cycle. And in longer studies, it wasn't really reproduced. But it's all in clinical androgen deficiency. But we're not clinical androgen deficient, plus we're taking testosterone on top. So there's so many different variables and circumstances, which, and this is a bit of an issue in the fitness community nowadays. They cherry pick article or studies to prove a point, but the circumstances are not the same.
Yeah.
And then you get labeled as a bro scientist, but over 1,000 people coached in 20 years in the fitness industry.
Yeah,
I think that's usually a bigger sample size than whatever study has been performed.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely, 100%.
So it's so no references,
I have these
guys.
conversations a lot with people all the time. These conversations, just be passing conversations in a group or with a client or something like that. And the best thing for me about it is now I can just say, "You got $20?" They're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Go buy this ebook. All your questions answered."
Yeah.
In a couple of days' time, you'll have 0 question marks moving forward on that subject.
But there's
as simple as that. But some people don't want to actually do the reading; they just want to be told, don't they? Like, just do this, do this, do that.
They want
just spend $20, go and read a little bit, and then you'll have so much more confidence.
There's a lot of confirmation bias in the fitness industry. Like they have a concept, and they just want you to approve it. So Coach Steve said it was okay, and then they sauce up, and then you give a different perspective, or you tell them, so listen, there's a little bit of financial compensation involved before I give you the answer, and then they pause, they don't continue any further, and then they just go to the next guy that confirms it for them with the little concept or hypothesis that they have. What do you think about? Yeah. So this will always be the problem, So there's basically people have an idea and just want it confirmed, and people who are curious and will learn, and then once they feel that they have enough knowledge, then they will put it into practice or not. Guess which one goes further?
It's one of them. It's a lot of people, exactly like you say, they'll be like, I have this idea, I have this theory. I'm just going to ask as many people as I can until I find one that agrees with me.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, well, just good luck. Try it, see what happens. And then, learn from it, move on.
Yeah, that's why I sometimes get tired with social media. Like a lot of people, they don't see, right? Like, how many followers do you have now on those Chinese social media accounts?
Oh, mine?
Yeah.
I don't know, 20,000-ish, something like that.
Yeah. So that's like 4 times as much as I do have on Instagram. So you probably get flooded by messages. And
but most of the messages I get on Chinese social media are just like, "Wow, Henda, you're very big, so strong." Very rarely do I get a message which is like, "Oh, like training messages." It's a very different media platform. It's not very not much information sharing going on there. It's much more like a TikTok kind of thing.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
So it's all right just to get my name out there and get a bit more of a presence, I guess, or just get my profile out there in China a bit. It's good for that. That's about it. That's about it, really. Well, I haven't really. I'm sure within the app there's way more things you can do, but it's understanding that is a different story. I think soon I'm just going to hire some little.
Is it in English or Chinese?
Oh, it's all in Chinese. Everything's in Chinese. So I get by most of the time. Like most of the normal functions and stuff are fine. I'm used to using them. I can read a little bit, but the really in-depth stuff, I think what I'm going to do is just hire like a little media student fresh out of college and be like, "Hey, do you want to just manage my account and blow it up as much as you can?" And,
it helps a lot. It helps a lot to have a media guy. So I just hired my wife to do all the back end stuff for me because I simply don't have time and no longer the desire to do editing and then all the little minutiae stuff. So I hired her because she's ready to, give the personal training a little bit of a break so she can work from home. So she put that at 50% and then I compensate the other 50% of her salary. That helps so much, man. It takes so much workload off my end.
That's good.
Yeah. So now I can focus more on eBooks and actual client work. But the client work, I'm not taking any more clients than 50. That's really my max,
Yeah.
And now I get client requests almost daily. It's crazy.
Well, with your social media over the last 6 months, it's blowing up. So that's bound to happen, won't it? Well, I guess now you can pick and choose which ones you want.
Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah. So unfortunately, no longer the guys that are a little bit bigger, a little bit overweight. No. Sorry.
Well, at least you can point them in the right direction as far as information, but there's only so much time you've got. You can only coach so many people.
No, right. Yeah.
Especially when you've got so many different things going on as well. I mean, I'd love to take on more clients, but I've got to work a full-time coaching job in the gym as well. I have to manage those clients. I'm also making sure that I dedicate a very specific amount of time to my own bodybuilding. I don't want to eat into that. I made a deal with myself, and no matter what money's offered, I'm not eating into that time.
No, right. I think time management is when you're self-employed or you have, income that you manage yourself, not through an employer. Time management is crucial.
Yeah,
and it's always what I'm struggling with. So now my wife is helping me with the thumbnails and, YouTube editing and all that stuff. It takes so much pressure off. And then she's going to help me with filming on, for Instagram and that kind of stuff when I work out. So hopefully we'll be able to produce a little bit more content, but I don't have to touch it myself. So I can focus on the clients or the eBooks or research or that kind of stuff. Because I had a period where I didn't even have time to research anymore. And that's scary because then you're not growing.
Yeah, if you stop learning, something's wrong.
Yeah, and I was like, after 2 months, like I haven't been on PubMed in like 2 months, 3 months. Shit. So many studies I gotta, I still read studies, right? Because it's interesting. And then with the study, you can dive down the rabbit hole and come to your own conclusion based on the experience that you have. But you still need to start somewhere, and if you're always managing clients or doing YouTube stuff, it's if you spend too much time in one place, it always digs in somewhere else.
Do you know what this is turning into? Did you watch that Bodybuilding and Bollocks episode when they were talking about balance for like an hour straight?
Yeah, I had to turn that off.
I couldn't deal with it. Do you know what? I messaged Ben after that.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck, bro? And I was just like that. And he was just like, yeah, don't worry. We've had this conversation already. Like, and then the next day, Fouad puts up another bro chat one. Like, yeah, we can't do that again. That just went on.
Oh yeah. He actually apologized because it was insane.
Yeah. I don't think they needed to apologize though. I think, to be honest, like I don't want to shit on people on the internet. And but I don't think don't get me wrong, Cedric, amazing bodybuilder. But when there's like a podcast and a group of guys and that podcast has like a certain flow.
Yeah.
And he just does not fit the flow of that podcast at all.
No.
He can't just answer a simple question. He has to get very deep into every single thing asked, which is great. That's Cedric's way. I've got max respect for that guy, but maybe that's the wrong kind of show.
Yeah, you can get him on
kind of conversations that he wants to have. When they're just talking like, right, what would you rather do? Would you rather? I'll ask you the same question. See what you would say.
Yeah.
Would you rather? No. What was the question? If you were in your wife's body for a day, what would you do? I think that was the question. And they were like, well, yeah, I'd play with my tits and, it'd be great. And Ian was like, I would just put as many things inside of me as possible just to see what it was like. And then they were like, oh, what would you, if your missus was in your body while you were in her body, would you go and shag yourself? Would you go and shag your body? And I was driving in the car and I was like, what a great question. That's hilarious. Yeah. And they all just had a funny laugh and a good, simple answers to it just for, bro chat. And he had to, I think he logged off at that point because he couldn't handle the questions. And I was like, for fuck's sake, man, lighten up.
I didn't make it.
I was like, do you know what? I would, if I was in my missus's body, I'm quite vain though. I would probably go and fuck the shit out of myself for sure. Yeah. just so I know what it feels like from the other end.
I'd probably go to the beauty salon just to be able to get away with it, and then do the same thing afterwards. Yeah, see what it feels like.
Yeah,
I don't think I would be able to bang myself. I don't think I would be able to do that. I would feel weird.
Oh, dude, I would do it, but then I would make sure like. Because my missus would be in my body.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, hey, I'm about to go to town on my own body. Take notes. Because when we switch back, you're going to know what I like.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think I would be able to look at my own face, though.
It'd be weird. Yeah, it might have to be like a blindfolded thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, well.
Well,
at least we answered that question easy enough.
At least we got a decent answer out of it, right?
Yeah. But I'll tell you what, their podcasts have been their podcasts have been a bloody savior as well throughout this lockdown.
Yeah, absolutely.
So much good stuff. So much good. I love that podcast. If you guys haven't watched it yet, go and check it out.
Everybody's watched it, I'm sure.
Everyone has, I'm sure. Yeah. It's the most popular one now. And it's only a matter of time before, I know he doesn't want people to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. I reckon Fouad's probably looking at a commentary job in the future.
I think so.
For sure.
You should.
Did you see Jake Wood tear apart Shawn Ray?
Yeah, that was good. That felt really well.
Oh God, that was so good. I enjoyed that so much. He was like a little boy begging to get out. Don't keep me in detention for too long. Oh my God. Begging for his job, but in the most arrogant way possible. I hate that.
But he still did it like a couple days later in Digital Muscle. When they started talking about other competitors, he still goes, "Oh, this is wrong, that is wrong." Just like he's just a negative asshole, and it's
he'll never change. But based on that podcast or based on that interview thing with Jake, I mean, he's this is his last year in it. Let's face it. After that interview, I think it's safe to say this is his last year commentating. I don't think he'll hold on to him because Jake's very good at listening to the fans. He knows exactly what he responds so well to what the fans want. And when you've got such a massive, overwhelming number of people saying the same thing about your commentator and how bad he is, I mean, you can't ignore that forever. No. He can support him and say you need to change, but if he doesn't change this Olympia, he's gone, isn't he? Well, I wish they get Dennis James back at least for the press conference. Dennis James is great.
Yeah, it's great guy, funny. He's very well with everybody. He's on good terms with it. And Bob Ciccarello's not on good terms with all the guys, but they tolerate him, right? But a lot of people get a sour taste for Shawn Ray. And you saw that last year at the press conference. These guys don't want to answer his questions. They just get annoyed. Like you see them like fuck. The response to the questions of Shawn. So, and with Dennis James, it was never the case, and especially how he deals with the foreigners that don't speak English so well. Let me translate. Rami said this and this. It's hilarious,
Yeah, he's brilliant. He's really good at his job.
Yeah,
and he's got the bodybuilding IQ as well.
Yeah,
Shawn Ray's bodybuilding IQ is just his era.
Right.
Anything after that, he's like, well, I don't know, I don't care.
No,
like the big argument of that show. I think it was the Chicago Pro, wasn't it? And he was just, or one of those shows, or maybe after that, there was one of the classic guy, Lord Jones, I think his name was, the classic guy who won it.
Amazing. He was bitching about Ian, bitching about this guy, that guy, and.
Stupid comments like the hair thing, talking about people's fucking hair, and I'm just regurgitating what other guys have been saying. I mean, but it's so true. It needs to be fixed. Hopefully, it will be in the future. But anyway,
I think what I'll do is I'll get the webcast. I'm not really sure where that is, and then we'll host a little watch party here. And then what I'll do is I'll put Fouad Abiad's channel on because he'll do the commentary if he's not selected to do it live. I'm pretty sure we'll do the commentary just like with all the other videos, and then I'll watch the webcast, mute it, and then listen to Fouad and what's his buddy Dave? Is it called Dave? Paul. My bad, Paul.
If he might even be judging it. Is he? Maybe not the Olympia.
No, I think he's a regional judge.
Is he?
Yeah. So and I know he does the IFBB Canada Nationals and the regional shows. But he's very knowledgeable, and he, when you listen to him talk about this is good, that's wrong, that needs improvement, and it all makes sense, and then you can, and that's the best way. I mean, you have a judge on the panel talking about why you get placed or why you get moved around. It makes it so much better understandable for general population.
And he also does that in a positive way as well. He's not just he's not just tearing people apart.
No.
So you've got Fouad building up the sport, promoting the sport as it should be. And from a bodybuilder, from a competitor's point of view, and then you've got a judge right next to him. It's the perfect combo.
Yeah, maybe
now with YouTube, we can pick and choose who we listen to on the day. Exactly. So it's great.
Yeah. So hopefully Ben will join, and then I think everybody else will be at the show, right? Like Ian will show. Maybe James Hollingshead will of course not compete. So maybe Ben and James will both do the commentary for guys, and Fouad and Paul are like a married couple.
Yeah. What does he call him? Uncle June? Uncle June from The Sopranos.
Those guys, I mean, they've been friends for forever, right? So it's
20 years or something.
Yeah, they got a great dynamic. Like they've been married forever. And
that's cool.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So that's what I'll do. I don't know where I can buy the webcast yet. I haven't seen it. I've been checking,
Yeah, it'll be available soon, I imagine. Yeah. It's only a few weeks away.
And if fingers crossed to do it right, because the Tampa Pro and the other shows, that was horrible quality.
Yeah, well, I mean, the whole big thing as well about the lighting at the California Pro.
Mm-hmm.
Like that upwards lighting fucking looked like
you see the picture that I posted? It was the same lighting. It was at my sister's house, and she didn't have electricity yet because the house was like half finished, and so the interior was done, but all the electricity wasn't connected yet. So we got this generator outside and this spotlights. You put on the floor and then you can start. So you're just doing that the whole day, and then I took a couple pictures, exactly the same as the competitors at the Tamper Pro. You got that spotlight from the bottom. It looks like you're telling a ghost story. Ooh.
It was terrible. Like, I don't know I think the next thing probably, I guess, who would be in control of that would be Jim Mannion, wouldn't it? It would be the IFBB side of it. Like to have a blueprint. So you have a blueprint of what the lighting has to be like wattage, angles, height.
It's weird.
And then you send that blueprint to all the lighting companies that do all the shows in the different states and countries. You say, that's the blueprint. Try and match that as best you possibly can.
Yeah, the Iron Man lighting for television, that was the best lighting. And they can easily duplicate that. Yeah, the Iron Man. I
don't understand why it's such a difficult thing to get that right. I mean,
it's the same here in Asia, man. There's no standard with lighting. So I'm happy that my wife always competed the second day or the third day, because I would have to spend an hour in front of the stage just to see how I would need to tan her.
Yeah,
I just have to look.
Yeah, with the lighting in China's shows, it's whatever hotel the show is at, whatever rig they've got is what you use. Deal with it.
Yeah, and then it's karaoke lighting,
Yeah.
Well, you see the lights. It's really like 5 different colors LEDs, and they put them all on so that it's white. But it's actually that party lighting. It's switching from red to green to yellow to whatever color it is. It's a karaoke lighting.
Yeah, it's not
I don't
what we
fucking
need.
get it, dude. It's spend a little bit more. The athletes are the billboards basically, and you get the pictures from those guys for the next competition. So it's your job to make them look good. They're in shape, not all of them, but they're in shape. So the least you can do by taking the fuckload of entry fee that they pay is by making them look good.
Yeah, for sure. It's not like I don't think they're. I mean, what have you got at an average show these days? Like 150 men's physique guys all paying entry fees. They must be able to spend a few extra bucks on,
Yeah. How much booth spaces. And these guys, we don't make so much money. Well, don't bullshit me. So you're not doing it for free, And I know this year, Mr. Olympia, I'm sure they're running a loss. But
for sure, a lot's going to come out of Jake's pocket, innit?
Yeah, he's a multimillionaire. He still doesn't deserve it. Yeah, he doesn't deserve the shit, of course, but he's doing the best he can for the sport. I mean, he's one of the guys that actually cares about it. I mean, you see what he did with the Wings of Strength and all the female Olympia competitors. Just kept it going and puts up.
It's amazing. He's the best thing that's happened to bodybuilding in a long time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
He's a really, really top guy. So I'm thinking, obviously, he said in that interview, it's got to come out of someone's pocket. It's going to come out of his pocket to make that show happen.
Yeah, that's the least we can do.
I think
the webcast 2 days.
You never know. It could turn out to be an amazing. As far as the lineup goes, the competitors are there. It's going to be epic.
We're going through this every year. We're getting hyped. I'm not doing it anymore.
I'll say the same thing I say every year.
I'll let them walk out, and then I'll see who's in shape, who's not, and who actually shows up. Because James is out, and who else stopped?
Flex.
Sorry,
Flex is out.
Yeah, on my shoulder. Okay, shit. And there's a couple. The guy from Brazil, also out. Coached by Chris.
Which one?
I forgot his name.
He came in third, didn't he? Came in third at Chicago or something. Oh shit, what's his fucking name again?
Rafael.
Yeah, he's got health issues. He just said health issues.
Yeah, Rafael Brandao. So he was diagnosed.
Rafael Brandao. Yeah,
he had something in his lung. Okay, I understand, but these guys keep dropping off. Then Hadi might not get a visa, and I don't see anybody travel already. They should already be in the plane. It's 3 weeks out. If you need to quarantine somewhere.
The last I heard with Hadi was that he's already out of the country, but there's been no real confirmation, solid confirmation or pictures of that. So whether they're just going for the whole surprise factor thing, I don't know. But I hope it makes it, because it'll add to a pretty amazing lineup. But I'll say the same thing I say every year. It's going to be the year of Ramy. He's going to walk in.
He didn't even make it on stage. And he still got an invite.
He's going to win.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, let's see. The only one.
But every time I say that, you'll.
Yeah. I want to see if Phil improved. Like that's what I'm looking forward to because I know he can get freaky. And but I think it's a carb loading issue with him. I mean, the last couple of years he just looked constipated on stage. All the food is in his stomach, and it didn't get into his muscles. So now his stomach looks full, and his muscles don't look full. He's like missing like 20% carb loading in the muscle. So that's hopefully he was able to fix that. I don't think it's a hernia issue. I think it's just the dehydrating while carb loading issue.
Yeah, and also he was the first thing he was pumping up quite vigorously as well before a show was legs.
Mm-hmm.
So they said they were watching his legs just blow.
That's Rami. That's Rami. I'm talking about Phil.
Oh, Phil, shit. Yeah, sorry, I was on a
Phil.
Got my mind on Rami.
No, Rami.
Yeah, I mean, I think to be honest, I don't think Phil would even consider the entertainer doing the show unless he knew he was going to come in amazing.
Yeah,
and things were improved. So I think we're going to see a much better midsection. I think that should be all nicely fixed by now.
Mm-hmm.
No like temporary mesh and stuff like that holding it together.
Yeah.
I think he's going to fucking realistically, he's going to come in and smash everyone, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, I hope he peaks well. That's what I'm looking forward to. And with Rami, we've only seen it once, but with Phil, we've seen it multiple times that he peaks really, really well and he looks amazing. It just was off the last 3 shows where his stomach was just got that constipated look, So, but with Rami, I haven't really seen it. Only that one time with the Chris Aceto, and then now he looks freaky again. But will he nail it on the show day? That's the question.
I mean, we'll find out. I mean, either way, I think it's going to be a pretty epic show. Should we do some quick predictions? Should we just do top 5 for
in order?
Top 5 for in order.
Okay, I'll go first. Phil. Guessing everybody makes it. Phil, Brandon, Hadi, Bonak, Ruli.
Yeah, I was wondering if you're going to put Ruli in there. I think this could be a very good year for him.
I know he's suffering. I heard some whispers.
Yeah, I think he's sacrificed a little size to make sure he comes in peeled. And
no. No, you heard wrong.
Is it the opposite? Is he going big or go home?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting.
Have you seen the pictures from yesterday or from 5 weeks ago? Okay, so go to
the last picture I saw of him. He was kind of like sitting on the edge of a.
No.
No, it was the tricep shot.
Yeah, so he took quite a long break from what I've heard, just to let everything kind of rest, and then now he's primed.
I mean, I saw that tricep picture, and I was like, "Fuck's sake!"
Yeah,
no one's got that.
No, and it wouldn't surprise me if he nails it, like when he was at the Arnold Classic Australia. We walked out and did that front double bicep, and it looked like he had a waist of a men's physique competitor. If he shows up like that, he could be as high as third.
Yeah, for sure, because he's definitely taking. I know that before he qualified in, was it Japan right after or Korea or something like that. That whole year he was, he did the whole waist trainer thing and did it super strict, and he's made some good improvements there. But I love Rolly. Rolly's amazing. I love him. He's one of them just like beasts that everyone enjoys to watch. But he every time I think I've got good triceps, and every time I get a really good pump and a good tricep pump, and every time and then I'll post a picture or something like that, and then I'll scroll through I'll scroll through the feed, and it's always like on the same day that I post my tricep picture, I'll scroll through.
Right. Yeah.
Like some fucking update, or someone like buys and tries, or someone posting bodybuilders about, but someone will be posting a picture of him. It's like they're doing it on purpose on the same day.
Which is the biggest pro that you've met in real life? You mean Shawn Roden?
The best. I met Shawn Roden, yeah.
A
Shawn,
little bit of a sigh of disappointment. I met Shawn Roden.
No. I thought you meant like who's the biggest you've met.
Yeah, the biggest. Yeah. Which pros have you met?
Shit. I think the biggest. I've only met a couple.
None
of them are mass monsters, though.
Sucks living in Asia, right? You don't meet any of these.
Well, yeah,
guys.
I mean, in Asia, yeah, I mean, there's no real mass monsters here. There's some pretty big dudes, but
I think you're the biggest mass monster there in China.
Oh, there's a couple. There's maybe 3 or 4 dudes that are big, but
isn't it weird? Like in Thailand, I'm in the top 5 biggest guys, even though it is a country of 75 million people. You know.
Well, yeah, same here. I'm probably in the top 5 biggest guys in a country of 1.5 billion.
Yeah, crazy, no?
It's weird. Yeah, it's weird. And then when I think, people are staring at me and stuff all the time, I'm like, all right, I get it.
Yeah.
And I'm only, I'm still trying to push 120. So I'm not, I've got a couple of buddies here that are into their 130s now.
Okay, wow.
Quite seasoned amateurs.
Yeah.
But still haven't quite pulled it together on show day. Still not getting that card.
No, it's difficult for a lot of people. It's especially the bigger you get, the harder it is to peak, right? That's why when people complain, these pros never peak, right? So, well, listen, you fly a week out for the Olympia, and then every day when you're at the Olympia, check in, athletes meetings, meet the fans, obligations with your sponsors, photo shoot. You're busy 24/7. I mean, the Mr. Olympia, like the World Championships, is a giant undertaking. And you really got to be seasoned, It's not an amateur show where you get to lay in your hotel room all day until you get out on stage. It's not easy, It's really not easy. And people mess up. People mess up all the time. Or they freak out, they panic. And Cedric and Rami are notorious for that. They just, like the last 3 hours before the stage, they go, and they go back to their old ways. And it's like, no sodium for 4 hours. And then they're flat. Or watery, It's... there's a lot of stress involved. That's why the fans shouldn't be too hard on these guys. But it's
for sure.
No. So what's your top 5?
Yeah, Phil, Brendan. I think that's set in stone between the two of them for first. But Phil comes in, which I think he will. He's got that. So I'll go Phil, Brendan, Rami. Phil, Brendan, Rami. I would have put Flex in there.
Yeah.
Phil, Brandon, Rami.
Technical difficulties, man. This is the curse of living in Asia. Well, you still look good, so don't worry about it. Yeah.
Still large and in charge.
Yeah.
Still got a bit.
Jesus Christ. Okay, move the microphone out of the way.
This is Ruley when he was maybe like 13.
There you go. I'm not gonna do it.
Light and shit.
I have no triceps lift, so maybe a little bit. At least
you still got triceps there, mate. They're still hanging there.
I have to flex really hard.
I can grab a little bit more than that.
Well, you know what they say: off season is the best season, right?
Well, so far, I tell you what, though, mate, being keeping body fat in control as much as it has been, has been so fucking nice. Just from I got this big before. When I was natural, actually. Well, I didn't get this big. I got to 114 natural. But I was pushing
genetics.
I was pushing
the natural, Jesus Christ.
But I was pushing probably 20% body fat.
Could you still see your own penis or no?
I could still see my penis, yeah.
It's just the tip, right? You look down and think,
I had to shave and make sure it is still there and stuff. Yeah. And it's a pull a vacuum.
Right. Yeah.
It was good for vacuum practice.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was this time round, it was uncomfortable before. I didn't feel healthy. Mm-hmm. My diet wasn't obviously not as clean. It was, I'll tell you, one of my favorite things to eat when I did it that time. I was also not quite training right as well. Mm-hmm. I was training Dorian Yates' plan, but I was doing it twice a day, 6 days a week. Yeah.
Natural.
For 6 months straight, natural.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Eventually I just went,
just
died. I don't know why that did that. Maybe it's something to do with the internet connection.
Communism.
Fucking communism. But we're still recording, right?
Yeah, it's still recording. We're just going to continue. So you were in the middle of explaining two times a day Dorian. Yeah, all good. 2 times a day Dorian Yates style till you crashed and gave yourself efficiency.
Yeah. So I was doing like the sort of the kind of chest and the shoulders, and it's basically like push pull legs kind of thing, but it was a 4-day a week, so similar to what I'm doing now. But I was adding extra sets and splitting up, like say for instance chest and triceps or whatever it was on the plan. I was going back in the evening to do the triceps. So whatever the smallest muscle group was, I would go back in the evening and do that, and then crush it a bit harder in the morning.
Okay.
So yeah, at the time, I just wanted to basically live in the gym all the fucking time. I was just in that gym rat mode. I was crushing like 6-7 meals a day, and I remember I would make like a massive fucking thing of chicken, white potato, and then some onions in there, white onions, and this like Chinese, these little blocks of Chinese curry, like brown curry.
All right, that has to be dissolved, right?
Yeah, and you just melt it in there, and then you just end up with this giant vat of curry. Right. And then I would just fill up a couple of, fill up the rice cooker with rice, and that was it. I was just scoffing that all day, and just training my ass off. And I was getting strong as fuck, and I was getting big. I was, especially for a natural, that was the biggest I got, and that's when I realized, that was, I guess, natural potential based on what I was doing at the time. But yeah, I was just fat and uncomfortable, and like it was just a bit not
Everybody
good. Whereas this time now,
but it doesn't sound like a dirty bulk to me. If that was your,
it wasn't that dirty. No, to be fair, I was pretty serious about it. It wasn't that dirty. It could have been cleaner, but it wasn't that dirty. Yeah. I just felt I was probably just pushing a little bit too many calories, a bit too much of a surplus, and yeah, I just got up to like 20% body fat-ish. Very, very strong. I was good. I was happy. I was getting bigger, but yeah, I just didn't feel overall that healthy. Didn't feel like I'd be able to maintain that for much more longer.
Do you get that nasty sweat, when you feel like your sweat is toxic? Yeah.
sweating all the time, just heavy breathing, sleep was shit. And yeah, so I was enjoying it, just going hard, like no fucking excuses, going hard, but it was the training. I'm glad I did that kind of training though, like that Dorian style of training, because that set me up really good.
Well, you build a good foundation that way. You build an awesome foundation.
I was thinking about this the other day. I was having a conversation with some guys, and they were, we were doing the whole, frequency, intensity, volume debate, bro splits, push pull splits, blah blah blah. And I'm, I try not to be too stubborn. I always try to keep an open mind in these conversations. But I always say, don't ever, if you're doing a bro split, like, you're an idiot. You're just missing out on so much potential gains. And if you're doing 4 or 5 sets per exercise, then you're not thinking about your training correctly, and you're not being efficient enough.
You can do it when you're sauced to the gills. When you're training for a show. Like you get your stimulation, a different method in, and then you have limited nutrients available, so you can't push too hard, otherwise you tear yourself apart. But for the off season, push pull legs, 4-day split, it's key,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So like I argue this out all the time, and some people just they don't get it. And some people are very stuck in their ways, and they can't get their head around that new kind of mindset, because it's not just a case of changing your plan. You have to change your mindset of training, because you're only going to be doing 1, maybe 2 sets on an exercise, but to a whole nother level.
No, I know. It's next level training. Mindset. And it's very difficult to leave.
Difficult for people to switch over. Yeah. And a lot of people, they always say, "Oh, it just feels like I'm not doing enough." And I'm like, well, there's 2 reasons for that. One, you're either not going hard enough, because if you go to real failure, you won't fucking say that. No. And they're like, but I just don't get that same pump. And I'm like, again, you're not going hard enough, because when you train like this, you don't get the pump throughout the workout, throughout that exercise. But as soon as you put down those weights,
then you get the pump.
It's like, oh, fucking hell, there it is. It's like 5-10 seconds after you put the weights down, and I get insane pumps.
Yeah.
And then you move on to the next one and do it.
The sets are so intense, that you just dig into all the energy reserves. And that's why we're trying to maintain as much performance as we can as we build up to the working set. So you do like 3 reps, towards the end. You do like just to touch it, 1 or 2 reps. Okay, touch the weight. I'm sufficiently pumped up. And then you go to town on 1 set, and and you should draw an audience every working set that you do. but it maybe means that you only draw an audience 6 times in a workout.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's worked for me so far. This off season has been exactly that.
Yeah.
Average of about 3 muscle groups, 8 to 10 working sets in any one given workout at the most.
Yeah.
And I'm completely fried and bigger than I've ever been by far.
You go home. Yeah, you see the progress pictures before and after from your lats.
Way better.
Yeah, it's like double in width.
Yeah, way better. I'm really happy with lat progress because I haven't really kind of looked at any before and after pictures of that. I feel like they're definitely stronger and getting bigger. I can see it in my posing, but when you do posing and stuff every day, it's you don't see
it's very difficult to notice. That's why it's usually good to do like month to month or maybe every 4 months progress pictures. Yeah. And then because you never see how fast it goes, I mean, I see it now with myself. I went from 115 to 100 kilos. And then I look at the pictures and I'm like, oh, okay, that's a big step backwards. But you don't notice it so much because it's been 8 weeks. That it's slowly been digressing. And it's the same with growing. It takes 8 weeks to get that size or maybe even 4 months. And it's such a slow progress. And then you see the before and after pictures like, oh.
There you go. There it is. Job. Yeah, that's it. But I try not to do that too often because I don't want to, you don't want to, I don't know.
Don't want to get complacent.
Yeah, you get it's going all right, so I can chill. I'm never complacent. I've tried to be complacent. I've actually tried to be a bit complacent in a workout, and I always feel like shit. I'm always just like, unless I kill it, absolutely kill it. Every single workout, you're like, for fuck's sake, and you just feel like crap until I need to do that again now. Yeah, and then you've got to wait until the next one comes around.
And disappointed in yourself, and you look at the mirror, you're doing your hair, and you're like, bro,
not enough.
Not enough. No.
Yeah.
So it's so hard right now.
There is those days where, you do feel like shit. Maybe you're a little bit sick or something, or a bit run down, or you need an extra rest day. And those workouts do happen.
Yeah.
But, it is hard to get over them.
It is.
Even though it's kind of, sometimes it's a bit out of your control. Like you actually physically, mentally, whatever, just can't do it. You do need a rest. You probably shouldn't have gotten a gym in the first place. But when you do it and it's not a good one, it's like,
do you have some emergency Anadrol at home or no?
Always. I'm going to edit this whole little section out here because otherwise every fucking man and their dog's going to be pumping bloody Anadrol with their pre-workout. So this is getting edited out, but I appreciate the info.
Sure, no problem. So it's, but sometimes you feel a little bit run down, right? So and it's sometimes out of your control. Like, what is very hard for me is that I know I have the energy and the intensity, but I'm not supposed to train that hard.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I'm just going to dig into my testosterone, and then the workout is going to be awesome for like 2 weeks, but I'll feel like fucked for the rest of the day. Like borderline clinically androgen deficient, So I'm training enough to maintain the size and the strength, but let's say I'm half the reps or I'm an increment down.
Yeah, I mean, when that carries over to the natural bodybuilders, like I still prescribe people to train, like go hard, go intense. I want you to practice or get into failure. Like I don't tell people to go to failure first workout because it takes practice.
Yeah.
But once you get in there, I'm like, go balls out. And then from there, I'm like, and they're like, well, how much and what to do? And I'm like, well, we're just going to have to base that on your recovery and your strength progress. And we're not going to know that after a good few cycles of the workout split.
Right.
You just go fucking as hard as you can, with good form and safety and stuff like that. And then we'll just see how you recover and then manage your volume. And it just takes a bit of trial and error. That's how I would do it for most natural clients, whatever that split might be. But that kind of intensity push is in most of my plans.
It takes them a while to get to the next level. And most guys will take it like a year or sometimes even 2 years before they really get to that next level. And then you reduce the volume along the way until they get to the next level. Really only 4 working sets. I said, hey, it's either that or add testosterone. But for me right now, like, I built all my size on 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 times the amount of natural testosterone that you're building. And the strength came from that as well. Like I'm way stronger than I ever was naturally, but I still have natural levels of testosterone. So if I if I'm expecting enhanced strength on natural levels of testosterone, something is going to break. And whether that's my mood and my energy levels during the day, or I dig into my recovery and at one point I'll just tear something, right? It's so I have to be, you have to be very, very careful. I even wrote it in a PCT eBooks. You just take it easy, train for maintenance, get it out of your head, which is very, very difficult if you've been blasting and cruising for 8 years straight. You know, and then other guys might say, no, you just got to eat. And then, but I'm trying to stay lean here. You know, my metabolism is slowing down. And the older I get, the more difficult it is to get lean. So I'd rather lose some size, lose some strength, and stay lean in the process. And eating enough calories, eating enough calories to recover, right? And then when I'm recovered, I feel good. I can start increasing the calories a little bit. And then grow.
Ideally, you want to be in a nice surplus, don't you, in a PCT?
Yes, I'm in like a marginal surplus.
Yeah, just a slight healthy surplus.
It's like 200, 300 calories, not 500. No. And so I go by body fat level. So I'm measuring that week by week. So I'm okay with it going up a little bit, but I'm not trying to go up too much. And then I go by strength, how I perform in the gym. So, but it's I have a lot of experience in my own body, but I know when to push and when not to push, and when to increase calories, when to pull it down a little bit. So I'm still doing a little bit of calorie cycling based on how I train. It just, I
mean, it's good for like, because you know how to manage that so well, but then like similar thing with some clients, it's trying to convince them to just focus on kind of one goal at a time, like just tick all the boxes for that goal, get that done, and then move on to the next goal. Like, and that could be anything from, you know, getting your PCT right to recomping to you know, the age-old beginner client that says I want to gain muscle and lose body fat at the same time type questions.
Well, you can if you treat it like a job, and even you can do it even as a natural, as long as you're not at your natural potential. But the guys have very high expectations, but the work ethic doesn't match, you know, and that's going to be the issue always, unless your coaching prices are so high that, you know, those people drop off automatically. You know,
I might have to turn that price.
I might have to turn up the knob. You know, just the more.
Well, now I'm almost at capacity now for where I want to be. So I'm almost at that kind of pick and choose stage now. Anyway, I've got a couple of spaces left, and I'm not just going to give them to anyone at this point.
No, I don't do it anymore. You know, and it's I only want the serious guys, the guys that commit.
Like back to training real quick. So, you know, I had a pretty not an interesting conversation. It was just the classic debate, volume versus frequency, all that kind of stuff. So one of the main things I really try and get across to people who like to do lots of sets, lots of reps. I always try and think about this, like hypertrophy. Okay, this is the goal. You want to break down your muscle. You want it to adapt and build bigger, so lift more weight. So you need your progressive overload. So everyone understands progressive overload. You know, lift more than you did before and keep doing that within a consistent rep range, so you can track it. And then there's the force, like one of the driving factors of hypertrophy is the force, the weight. So if you don't have enough of a weight that's efficient enough for you to actually break down that muscle when you're lifting those weights, you're not going to break down the muscle. You're not going to grow. And they're like, well, and you know, the classic sort of, well, what about, you know, you Kai Greens or you Jay Cutler's doing 22 sets of this, that, and the other. I'm like, well, first things first, look in the mirror. Are you Jay Cutler? Are you that big? Are you doing the same as him? No. So put that out of your mind right now. But then to me, it's very simple, but tell me if I'm missing something. If you're doing 5 sets for each exercise and you're doing 5-6 exercises, let's say you rack up 25 sets in a workout. There's no fucking way in hell that all of those sets are working. All of those sets are doing any damage to your muscles and getting growth. All you're doing is chasing the pump. You might get maybe, say, 20% of that entire workout that's actually done any damage.
Probably the last set of each exercise, but the problem is, since you're depleting your energy levels, those last sets of each exercise are going to be subpar compared to pyramiding your way up and and holding, reps in reserve, that kind of bullshit. You're just gearing weight up and you're not going to fail. You're just climatizing to the weight. And then you get to that set, the set that you do and the beneficial set that the volume guys are doing, it's probably double the weight for the same amount of reps. Which muscle is going to grow more?
Oh, yeah. So, well, I just say, look, count your effective sets or reps in your workout. And really think about it. How many of those sets really challenged you? Or reps, how many of whatever you want to count, which ones actually challenged you to the point where you're like, shit, I have to really push to lift this. They're the ones that are doing the damage. So anything prior to that is doing fuck all apart from wasting energy, because you're just going to fatigue from throwing weights around and moving weights from one, A to B with no real thought into it as well. And so I'm like, well, you can probably take away a 25 set workout and you could probably break that down to 5 sets. And that's not enough. And I'm like, yeah, it is. Because you've got 20 sets worth of energy crammed into 5 sets. Yeah. And every single one of those, and you're going to need that energy because you're then going to be able to go so much heavier because you have the energy to do so.
Yeah. Much better
then
muscle
because it's heavier.
Yeah.
Yeah. And because it's heavier, you're then in turn getting more damage to the muscle because force is the driving factor for hypertrophy. Yeah. That makes sense, right? Am I missing something there?
No, that's 100% correct. But
that's it. So no matter what split you've got, that's the foundation. That's the principle. That's what you need to keep in mind. If you're a beginner, obviously, pushing to failure might be a bit of a challenge to start with. So you might just have to, go within your means, practice the exercises, work your way up. Takes time. It does take practice, but your effort and intensity should still be there. It should still be hard as fuck.
Absolutely. Yeah. But you still have to, you need the desire to actually do that to yourself because it's not easy.
Yeah. It's not a nice, fun YouTube workout with the bros and gym. It's like, no, you're going to go in there and you're going to fucking go to war. You're going to come out at the end of it like you've just done a week in the trenches.
During your sets towards the end, do you clock out?
What do you mean?
Like, you're like an outer body experience.
Yeah, I have to kind of sit there for a few minutes and like recollect.
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah, I'm just like, fuck, I was gone. Like people come over and they're like, oh, fuck, Jim Bang, speaking Chinese. Like, well, that's cool. I'm in the corner like making dinosaur noises and shit, and they come over and I'm just like kind of. Just like trying to get my shit together. Yeah. And, sometimes that'll take 5 minutes after a good set.
No, I know. Yeah, it takes a while. So that's how it's supposed
to be.
Then
it's been a good set.
Yeah.
I always feel amazing after that because in that time that you're recovering as well, you're getting all the blood rush there and you get a crazy pump. So then you do eventually like from a leg press, stand up and walk to the next one and you're like, oh my God, that was just one set. One set. And it feels fucking, I'm kicking the shit out of me.
The hard part is always unracking all the weight afterwards. That's the most annoying part.
Yeah, I wait. I either train at a quiet time and I'll come back after a shower and then just do all the stuff I used and put it all back.
Yeah.
I work
just
in the
leave
gym.
It, right? Yeah, I have the same deal with
if it's very quiet and there's no one in the gym, and I'll just say to the coaches that are kind of on duty walking around the gym, I'm just leave it. Leave it. I'll be back in 10. Yeah. Or sometimes they'll come over and they'll realize that I'm dying and they'll help me out.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is nice. That's very nice.
That's cool. Yeah.
But yeah, most of the time I'm just too fucked to do it right after.
But it's so annoying.
If it's super busy in there and there's people waiting to use the machine, then I'll do it.
But you got to take like 10 plates off per side, and that's a workout in itself. And then you'd have a perfect set on leg press, and you take all those plates off, and now you gave yourself a lower back pump, and then you got to come to the.
It's like a fucking drop set. It's like a drop set, just finishing an exercise.
Yeah.
Because you got to take all these 20 plates off.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah.
I wish these.
But it's good though. I love training like that. I can't train any other way now. I mean and Widowmakers. Yeah. And Widowmakers because I don't have to change the weight. I mean, some people call them like rest pause cluster sets or whatever.
Whatever you call it. It's.
But you don't have to change the weight. I love that. I tried a drop set. I tried to switch one out and I tried a drop set. And I got fuck all from it. Nothing from it.
Yeah.
Because I got to the first one to failure. I was like, yeah, okay. And then you drop it down 20%. And then I'm like, this is taking too long. This is taking too long to fail. Although I've just done a failure set and then finished off with the Widowmaker set.
Yeah.
It's like, this is just taking so long. That big drop, I don't know what it is, but because you're so tuned in to pushing heavy to failure, that 20%, 30%, like stage 1 or 2 of a drop set is too light.
I know.
At that point, my legs are just numb anyway. They're just numb. I can't feel them.
I feel that it's better.
So I'm just moving up and down.
If you do like a back off set, so that's like 20%.
Back offs are great. Back off sets are fine.
But you give yourself some time, you know, in between. Yeah,
like a back off set, I'll finish a working set to failure. I'll take off maybe just 10%.
Yeah.
And then I'll go again straight away. So the time it takes me to move the pin or shift the plate is the break.
That's a true drop set then. You get the same amount of reps,
like
you get the same amount of reps.
No, it's close. Maybe usually the same all within one. And that'll fuck me. And then I'm done after that.
What I like to do is I get like my max set in, like 6 reps, and then I drop it 20%. I treat the back off set as a separate set, and then I try to match or beat the amount of reps. So
you do your working set.
Yeah.
And then you come back to the same exercise.
No,
do the working set again.
Drop the weight 20%. So let's say from 100 kilos to 80 kilos. And then I try to match the reps or beat it. So it's a little bit higher intensity, but the weight you get a different contraction.
So you go for the same rep range as your working set.
Yeah.
With 20% off.
Yeah.
Do you have a rest in between?
Yeah, it's just another set.
Oh, it's a separate set.
Yeah, it's a separate set. So that's why it's called a back off set. It's not a drop set because you give yourself 1 minute, 2 minutes if needed to kind of get your composure back. And then you try to match it, you know, because I can't, you know, like with a Widowmaker set, you get, let's say, 10 reps, then 5, then 2, right? For example.
Yeah.
Because the same weight you get half. If you like that ideal rep range, you drop the weight and keep it in the ideal rep range or go a little bit higher in the reps, but the weight is lighter. But if you do a straight drop set from 100 kilos to 80 kilos, you still get half the amount of reps because the rest duration is shorter.
Yeah. I just can't do the too much of a rest. Like my Widowmakers are 10 breaths.
10?
Fine.
Not 15.
15? No, 15's a little bit too long. I'm doing too many.
Dante is going to scold you.
So I'll go balls to the wall, like absolute mechanical failure on the first one. And then I tried it. I tried 20 seconds. I tried 15. I tried 10. I tried 5. I was just fucking around one day.
Yeah.
Like over the couple of weeks, just trying to figure out which one really halved. What the target was to half the reps each time.
Right.
So if I got 10, next one I wanted 5, then I wanted 2 or 3.
I see. You base your restoration based on that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I tried to make sure I was getting that. I don't really know why. It was just an experiment. But I found that if I was going 15 seconds, my first round would be 10. And then my next round, I still get 8.
Okay.
And then the third round, that would still be quite low, like 3 or 4 is.
So do you think the 5 seconds extra is worth the 2 or 3 reps that you're getting?
Well, there's 2 ways of looking at it. Yeah. I mean, like less 5 breaths less, and quicker fatigue, quicker to failure, or extra 5 breaths. And then you get a couple of extra reps. Like, I guess for hypertrophy, the extra reps are probably going to be a little bit better, more beneficial.
Yeah.
Either way, I'm failing hard. I just played around with it a little bit. So I found now that, because I still need to get a gym pin. Half these fucking machines, man, like, I'm not heavy enough now. Yeah. I'm not heavy enough. So I'm doing a Widowmaker set, but the first round is 20 reps. Okay. So you can imagine how long that takes. So you're doing 20 reps.
Do you have any resistance bands or anything like that?
Yeah, but a lot of these machines, like I can't remember what the old brand. Right now, the brand is called Precor.
Yeah, that's a
or Precor.
Yeah.
They're good. They're pretty good machines. They used to have a different name because I remember it was Joe Bennett, hypertrophy coach Joe Bennett, was comparing their old hack squat with their new one.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, they're the fucking machines I've got at my gym. But the old company was something different. I don't know. Apparently it was a bit better before. But they're just built, some of the machines are built in a certain way. You can't really attach bands in the right places to make it like, you have to either wrap a band around 4 or 5 times just to get it in the right place.
Oh, yeah. I know. It's very cumbersome. Yeah. When you're strong, it's a curse.
I could do it. I could do it in most of the machines, to be honest. I'm probably going to have to be fair, in the next couple of weeks. Definitely going to have to, because now it's rep ranges are maxing out now. I don't want to go higher than what I'm going now on most things.
No, but your anyway, range of motion is great. So it's not like you can increase your range of motion, or the guy's like, oh, I'm maxing out the leg press and it's like this much range of motion. I mean, your knees are digging into your chest. So it's not like you can change that to get a little bit more stimulation.
That's maxed out. That's all maxed out. Like dumbbell flies are just, I'm almost touching the floor. Like I get a massive stretch on them. I love dumbbell flies. In fact, one guy commented on one of my videos and he was like, that's dangerous, man. That's dangerous for your shoulders. It's like, you shouldn't be able to get your arms past like parallel to your chest or whatever. And I'm just like, no, mate, you just got really shit shoulders. You haven't got any range of motion.
Load under tension, man. It's the best. And then you don't have to do silly stretch exercises. I incorporate that in all of my programs. Balls to the, balls deep, like a deadlifts, and full range pull-ups, and like every exercise besides shoulders, it's a little bit different behind the behind the neck lateral raises. But I try to incorporate the stretch motion under load in every workout, and it really opens everything up.
Yeah. Well, Dante says the same thing, doesn't he? Yeah. Stretch under load is fucking the king. Yeah.
So and then go hard, and then you eat hard.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm surprised about? I mean, you went up to 115 kilos on 4,000 calories.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
that's what I was surprised about.
4,000. Yeah, so 116 at 4,000 calories.
I've got guys in 5,000, 6,000 calories, and they're way a lot less than you do.
And I'm 6 foot.
Yeah. No, that's why it's weird. Like you see, everybody's metabolically different, and they utilize the nutrients in a different way, right? Like I had one guy eat 7,000 calories, and he was maintaining it 200 pounds in Canada. Yeah, I felt bad for the guy. You really had to force feed, 7,000 calories clean.
That's brutal.
Yeah, and he was just staying lean, and he was putting on muscle, and he made a tremendous transformation from when we get started. But 7,000 clean.
Yeah, that's fucking hard. I mean, I'm not a big eater either. Like, there's days where I have to force feed 4,000.
Yeah.
And I know there's guys out there like, you fucking pussy. 4,000's breakfast.
Yeah.
But I'm just not a big, I'm not a big.
The IGF-1 will help. The IGF-1 will help.
Yeah, let's hope so. Hope we get some epic pumps from that.
Yeah. So finally, you've earned that. Next phase of the golden triangle.
Leveled up. I've got Super Saiyan. Yeah. I'm Super Saiyan 2 now.
Yeah, finally. Yeah. And we're going to grow your hair out a little bit more and go Super Saiyan 3.
Yeah. I'll get the Pro card first, and then we'll go Super Saiyan 3.
No, you don't need to. You don't need to. So we're aiming for shows in May or September, or you haven't decided yet?
Yeah, so I think the future, if there is a future, if I'm able to travel, hopefully that's not an issue by then. But yeah, South Korea in May.
Yeah.
Do a pro qualifier there. Probably maybe do a warm-up show in China first at some point if the timing's right. And
if the timing is okay, we can do a warm-up. Just walk in and don't do too much manipulation. And then
nothing crazy.
What I told most of my clients is because there's going to be quarantines in place, and not everybody's willing to go through the quarantine. So it's even though it's going to be less competition, there's more opportunity to compete.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of the Arabs, they won't be able to come to South Korea and Japan. And they usually show up with a whole team, just to get pro cards, which they can't do anything about because it's almost impossible for these guys to fly to America anyway. So there might be some good opportunities because the competition is not that steep to get a pro card. And then, because I think the longer you wait, the tougher the competition is going to get.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, of course, the longer you wait, the more progress you make. You know, the more progress you make, so then you're more competitive as well. I think there's going to be like a sweet. I think next year is going to be like a good opportunities to get pro cards.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, even if I don't next year, it will be, you know, we've made some really good progress, and we'll just know how to move forward into the year after that. It's,
yeah,
you know, there's no immediate rush. I mean, it would be great, sooner the better. Just keep pushing. Whatever happens, just keep pushing forward. So, yeah, probably look at May in Korea and Japan.
Yeah,
one in Japan the week after that.
Yeah, if there's no lock.
The schedule just came out. The schedule's fucking huge. There's shows bloody everywhere. So,
yeah,
you know, we'll see how those shows go. And if there's one in Vietnam, like in September, Singapore, there's loads. There's loads.
Yeah, there's loads. The one in Thailand is that's not on the list. So I'm wondering what happened to that one.
Yeah, I didn't see Thailand.
No, well, last year there was supposed to be a show, and then of course because of COVID and nobody can travel into this country, it was postponed and then cancelled. So it should have been like this weekend, I think. It should have been like this weekend, but you know, nobody can travel into Thailand. It's difficult.
Yeah, it sucks.
But the Chinese, they're letting people from China in, so you're in the Goldilocks zone for the people that are able to get into Thailand if they want to.
Really?
Yeah, they got Chinese people from China are coming in already on the tourist visas. They have to quarantine for 2 weeks. But if you're coming for 3 months, it might be worth it.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
And finish the off season over there.
Yeah. I'll hook you up with some more hamburgers.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. That's what I need. Yeah, hamburgers. Yeah. Them Thai hamburgers.
Thai hamburgers, yeah. Handful of Thai hamburgers.
Anna burgers.
Yeah, Anna burger. Exactly. Actually, surprised you didn't take any orals, right? This entire offseason. Just testing primo.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Testing primo.
Test primo.
Not even high dose.
Yeah, just 2 grams each, right?
Yeah, for 3 now.
Yeah.
But as far as primo is concerned, like I'm at the bottom range of what people would consider effective.
Yeah, what general people consider effective, like 600 milligrams a week. That's because I was taking 200, right? It was already working. You just got to make sure that it's good quality. You know? Yeah,
I think that's the main factor with a lot of these things. Yeah. Like a lot of people, I can't remember whose show it was I was listening to. They were talking about it as like one of the most underrated compounds there is.
Fouad's show where they talk. Yeah, I mean, Primo's my favorite compound. Just the problem is getting legit and being able to afford enough of it when you're cutting. Like when you're cutting, dosages are like 1,000 milligrams a week. You know, during the off season you don't need so much, but it's because you can't see the cosmetic changes anyway. But it's just the add-on top of the testosterone because you get a little bit of the joint padding, and of course the immuno-boosting effects, which are highly desired during COVID.
Yeah, I feel great. I felt great all the way through on it, and feel I always look good and full. My body fat is pretty much stayed the same throughout off season, so very, very healthy.
Yeah,
which is good. My bloods are pretty decent. There, so yeah, definitely taking no orals and things obviously helps that.
So the occasional A bomb, no.
No A bombs.
No A bombs, damn it.
You're supposed to be the healthy coach.
Yeah, well, so there's a rhyme and reason for everything, right?
I'll just have an extra Anna burger before training.
Anna burger, yeah, right, before and after.
But yeah, no, it's all gone well. So I'm hoping we do pretty well in a couple of shows.
Yeah.
Throughout next year, it'd be nice. I don't know how many shows is realistic to squeeze into a year. I'm kind of got the number 4 in my head. I wouldn't mind doing 4 shows next year.
Yeah, if they're close together. If they're
the right sort of time.
But I think
or maybe we could do a couple like those summer shows, those called May time, and then maybe do a couple at the very end of the year. So there's that nice gap in between to
you have 2 months off.
Reset.
Yeah, we can clean out for 2 months and then start contest prep with 3 months, 4 months left. That would be okay.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We'll time it either way, but I can't wait to compete again. Can't wait. I'm getting the itch in the bug now. I mean,
hold that thought.
Huh?
Hold that thought.
Hold it. Yeah, not going to get too excited. I won't get too excited. But I'm enjoying the off season. So either way, I think because it's been a good off season and healthy and feel good.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a lot easier to kind of, like, I'm in no rush. I got a couple of questions.
Cool. And then we're going to wrap it up.
Desperate Muscle Nomads fans that haven't seen us on the screen together in 6 months. So
sorry for the delay,
I've had a couple of people just sending like 15 questions one by one. Like,
oh, wow, yeah.
I'm like, I said, dude, I'm probably going to choose 2 if we've got time.
Well, one per person, guys. If you want unlimited questions, there's coaching for that.
Yeah. So I don't know if is there anything in specific or anything you want to show? Oh, I'll tell you what you can talk about while I find the questions, because I haven't had a good chance apart from the videos that are available online. Is the Gorilla Mind gear? I want to know more how you're getting on with the Gorilla Mind stuff. Because
the Gorilla Mind, yeah, it's very good.
I'm excited to try that because it's because Derek does a lot of quality control, and he's obviously knows his shit when it comes to the correct and right dosages that are effective. So
yeah, so far it's been very good. I've been running his pre-workouts and the health supplements. So he's got, let's say, the pre-workout line and the health supplement line. So I added in the citrus bergamot and the astragalus and the cortisol blockers, a little bit of ashwagandha and the phosphatidylserine to keep your cortisol level suppressed, which helps right now because I'm trying to boost my testosterone levels. So low cortisol means hopefully high testosterone levels. What else do I got? I got a couple of his cosmetics. He's got a cosmetic line as well, so I'm running that, as like an aftershave. And it's like a wrinkle and skin relaxer. So instead of using it for that purpose, I just use it as an aftershave. So all the blemishes are filled in. And the pre-workout is so when I was doing the off season, I was on 250 test and 200 primo, right? And then every time I added in this workout, like my workout capacity felt like it was on 1,000 milligrams a gear.
That good,
yeah. I'm not bullshitting. It's that good. And a little bit of creatine, a little bit of glycerol in the pre-workout, some nootropics, and you combined it all together. And I just felt that my workout capacity was 10 times higher. And then I added in the taurine and ubiquinol, and I started experimenting with a couple other compounds like, what you find in tonic water, the quinine, to help with muscular contractions. So I was surprised that I was using 450 milligrams of anabolics, but I was training. I was 115 kilos, 2 units of growth, 10 units, 25 units of Lantus, long-acting insulin when I was doing the carbs. Surprising. So I was very happy.
It's just down to good dosing.
Yeah, so now it's all accurate, and the citrulline is very, very high, so you don't get sore anymore because it takes away all the metabolic waste products. And there's no.
Has he got any like kind of secret hidden blends in there?
Yeah, I asked Derek, said, did you put D-ball in here? He said, no. No, it's not D-ball.
Is it all listed? Has he got any proprietary blends, or is it all listed?
Only on Gorilla Mind Rush, I believe. But then when you look at Gorilla Mind Smooth, it's basically the same formula. Which I don't think so. There was something in there, like some sort of nootropic blend. And then it didn't list the labels, but it could have been an old bottle. I think he put like the full ingredients on the label because that's required.
So for the most part, it's just enough of the right ingredients in a normal pre-workout.
It's not like no. It's like it's a lot. Like the scoops are fucking huge.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, so the actual ingredients are nothing like out of this world compared to most pre-workouts, maybe like the added nootropics or whatever. But the dosages are just what you actually need.
Yeah, right. The clinical dosage, the investigated dosages. So we have 2 scoops of Gorilla Mind Nitric, for example. You get 9 grams, 9,000 milligrams of citrulline or citrulline malate. I'm not sure. Citrulline, and then no beta alanine because it gives you the stupid tingles which you don't need. 5 grams of creatine, 4 or 5 grams of glycerol, and then he has a separate glycerol, so I add another scoop of glycerol on top. And then you have 20 grams of glycerol, so you get insane pumps. And then a little bit of nootropics, you get a little bit of Huperzine A from the Gorilla Mind Rush, you get your alpha GPC, you get your DMAE in. It's a great combination, yeah. And then you're completely zoned in during the workout, and you just do personal best after personal best, given that your caloric intake is high enough. And so I've been having the best workouts ever until I needed to was forced to take a break.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
well, that's dope. That's fucking.
yeah, I'm very happy with it. So, but unfortunately, the international shipping is not there yet because of COVID.
Yeah, well, right now with everything going on, when it is,
yeah,
I'm definitely getting some.
When
I get my pro card, I'm going to hit him up.
Yeah.
Say, hey, do you want to sponsor me?
Right. Well, he's taking clients. He's taking plenty.
In fact, Derek, if you watch this, keep an eye out because I'll be fucking pro soon.
Well, you're probably the biggest guy on the roster. That's for sure. You're going to surpass me because I think from all the sponsored athletes, I'm probably the only bodybuilder, and the rest of the guys are, very well, nicely shaped Instagram guys. Some guys compete, but I don't think so. I think I'm the only real bodybuilder that he sponsors. So you could,
Yeah, but the difference is, I think, from if you from a supplements company that was going to look after you or sponsor you, is because those Instagram models and stuff, yeah, they can post the pictures and whatever, but they're not directly telling you about, like we've just had this conversation about the subs. They don't do that. So you add way more value to the brand because people actually listen to what you say. Well,
that's why I think I got sponsored, because I add value. And my social media following is not big. It's growing, but it's not big. And I think Derek said the same thing. So listen, it's not about your social media following. Your value is in this industry is so much better than everybody else. So that's why he brought me on board. And so hopefully I can get him on the podcast at one point if he's not too busy.
Yeah,
we're working on that.
Yeah, he's a good guy. I like Derek. He knows his stuff. Yeah, always good to listen to.
So it's been so far all good, man. I'm happy with all the supplements, and my blood work is improving too. So, like what he's trying to do with the health subs, it's a hidden reason. Like we spend so much money in health subs, right?
Yeah,
and
so he's trying to make that a bit more.
Well, it's more affordable if we do it through his line. So it will probably be a separate supplement line. And now he's just trying to work on the branding a little bit. But I think if he's got a full line with TUDCA for liver health, for example, and he's already got astragalus for kidney health, and he's got citrus bergamot for the liver lipid values, right? A little bit of blood sugar control. So maybe a berberine, a GDA is on the way. So if he's got all those health supplements, then you got like a full stack, and then you never have to go to iHerb or Amazon. iHerb or Amazon again,
Yeah, well, that's great. I mean, I'm glad he's covering that health sub side of things as well, because it's becoming more and more, it's bigger now. People are more and more aware of that, especially in bodybuilding.
Yeah.
The last few years has been a massive influx of health aware bodybuilders, which is great. So that's great. Good timing to get on that sub ladder with that stuff as well.
No, for sure. So he's working on that, and then you can use, you get high in your own supply. Basically, you use your own health supplements, and then hopefully I can change my entire cabinet too. Just uses only Derek's supplements, or majority, because some supplements are not worth it. Like taurine, it's not really worth. It's probably, there's no margins. And not many people understand the benefits of it, but carnitine they understand. So they use carnitine on the line, right, for androgen receptor sensitivity and fat loss. And so there's always going to be this minutia products that you'll have to get somewhere else. But I think he will cover all the basics and then do it separately, and you can pick and choose what you need. So I'm looking forward to that. 2021 is going to be, I'm sure he's going to extend this line very well. Yeah.
Yep. Well, we're keeping an eye out for it. I'm sure we can send me over some of the pictures or artwork, or maybe I'll just use that last picture you posted with all the subs.
Yeah. That was a good one.
Stick that at the end of this, and put your discount code in there.
Yeah.
And some links for anyone who wants to check out Gorilla Mind subs. You can use VigorousSteve. VigorousSteve's discount code, which is what?
Vigorous.
Just Vigorous. Shameless plug. Vigorous.
Vigorous. Capitals, all caps.
So if you want some really good subs that stand out and work,
GorillaMind.com.
What's Aaron's favorite off-plan Chinese meal in China? Okay. So maybe you can do the same for Thai. I know you like your Lucky 13 sandwiches, but do you have like a Thai meal that your go-to Thai meal? Apart from Muscle Factory Thai curries, which are amazing.
I don't eat Thai food anymore, man. Too much bad experiences. We eat Italian, and we eat Thai American hamburgers, because the beef is of course not the same quality. And we eat sushi.
Yeah,
I don't eat Thai food anymore.
Thai sushi.
Right? Yeah. Well, that's actually very good quality. So they got imported sushi grade fish here, right? And they got the imported. They got actual imported sushi rice from Japan, which is not supposed to be imported, but they still have it here or exported.
Yes,
They still have
there's
it
loads of it here as well.
Yeah. So it's very good. Yeah. So, but with Thai food, I always get food poisoning, or it's so, obscenely spicy that I feel violated. Like somebody's been punching me in the mouth. Yeah. At the end of everything's dripping, and we start coughing a little bit. So I abstain.
I can't help doing that at least once every time I'm in Thailand. I can't help it, but just have a killer nice big green curry that just melts my face off and just comes right out the other end.
Yeah,
love it.
No. I try to keep all my gains. What little gains I have left, I'm trying to hang on to it for dear life. So sushi, hamburgers, and sandwiches. That's where I draw the line.
Cool. Well, my favorite Chinese meal, I guess, would be hot pot. Or huagua, as they call it, but I don't do it with the spicy soup, the spicy sauce, because it's just burn your face
spicy hot pot.
No, fuck that.
Thick layer of fucking oil.
No, it's just a giant vat of boiling oil and chilies, and it just ruins. Like, I'm gonna be on the toilet for 2 days after one of them. It's brutal.
So I had that in Japan. It's like a Chinese hot pot, right? And you have like two separate ones. One is like a green one, and one is like the Szechuan, super spicy with chili oil. Like it's guzzling, which you could set it on fire. That's how much oil. And that was great.
There's so much oil.
Yeah, but the chicken pieces was this big. But I remember when I went to Beijing and Shanghai, you have to fish for chicken, and you have no idea it's all mystery meat.
Yeah.
When you eat that outside, and I can't do that anymore either.
So I order it now with like instead of the oil chili soup, I order a tomato one. So it's basically just tomato broth.
Okay.
And I just order a plate of beef, plate of the fish, shrimp, some sweet potato, a little bit of that, like this tofu skin. It's kind of like noodles, but it's like really thin tofu skin.
Right. Yeah, I know.
And I just chuck all of that into my tomato side, because the missus always has the spicy side.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And wait 5 minutes, and then just lucky dip, whatever comes out.
Exactly. Yeah, you never know what you're gonna get, right? But at least it's all good food. Then
surprise mouthful every time.
Yeah, you get to choose your own. I went in Hong Kong. I went to next to the harbor. There's like a dim sum place, and they got the trolleys, like these old ladies going to trolley. Okay, what do you want? In Chinese or Hongkonese or whatever language whatever dialect. Yeah, something like that. And you just grab. You have no idea what it is, right? But it's only half $1 per plate, so you have to cross it off. So if you don't like it, you just move it to the side, and then you cross the numbers that you do like, and then you go for second and third and fourth. So we ended up spending like $150 at that place, two people. And we had like
great. Dim sum's great though.
That was very good. Yeah, I did like dim sum. Yeah, it was awesome.
They do the same sort of similar thing at the Japanese places. You can get those. What are they called? Like yakinoki, the little octopus balls.
Oh right, yeah, yakiniku.
You know those things where it's like little deep fried.
Yeah,
batter,
and then I've got some like balls around it. Yeah,
fish, but they'll give you a tray with 5 different flavored ones.
Yeah,
you never know what they are.
No,
and there's always one in there that's like, oh,
that's
this big.
With the
you don't take a bite of these things.
Yeah,
you just put the whole thing in your mouth,
of course,
and then hope for the best. So fingers crossed that you get the bad one like at the beginning, so you can drink some water and enjoy the rest. If the last one,
you get your tissue. So I have to sneeze and dispose of it. So thank you, but no more of this. Yeah, that's usually the one with the purple octopus. That one I don't like.
Yeah. Okay, maybe just grab one more quick one then, and then we'll be on our way. I've got to take the cat for his injection. He had his balls chopped off the other day.
Oh, so he's got to do his hormone replacement now.
Yeah, he's going on TRT.
Yeah.
He's going on TRT for a while. Maybe I might just add a little bit of Primo in there as well.
Might as well, load him up. Yeah, he's going to go bald. Hopefully your VPN holds up and we can do this more often again.
Yeah, I mean, even with a couple of cutouts, it's still not too bad.
No, we went for 2 hours.
And I've got a similar VPN on my phone, so even if I've got Zoom on the phone now as well. So maybe next time I'll try it on the phone and just see if that's even better.
Yeah, sure. Because a lot of people do that with Fouad as well. They call in Zoom on the phone, and it's okay quality. I still like this microphone, but even then, Zoom just completely ruins the audio quality. So let's see if it still sounds nice by the time we convert it into something we can edit with.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But thank you very much for your time. It's been a while. It's been good chatting.
Good to talk to you for sure, man. It's been a while.
Yeah. We'll do another little update soon.
Yep.
Keep people updated with the rest of the off season and some stuff leading up to the Olympia.
I'm sending you all my gains, so you hold on to that.
Yeah. Yes, you can have them back when I start cutting.
Yeah. Cool. I'll take your gains back. I'll turn that off-season chunk into muscle.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully, I imagine. Well, from Monday we're going to start the new sort of plan. So I don't know. We'll probably hit 120 by the end of the week.
Could be if your IGF-1 is legit, then it can go very, very fast. Yeah. Fingers crossed.
We'll see how it goes. We've got a few months to play around, haven't we? So we'll make the most out of it.
Plenty of time. Cool, man. It was good to chat to you. Have a nice Sunday. Enjoy your cheat meal. I will too.
Yeah.
And we'll catch up soon. Muscle Nomads.
Out.